Good day everyone. Today we are going to discuss the lesson 3 of our module entitled Carry Out Measurements and Calculations. Measurements. We have two systems of measurements. First one is the English system and the second one is the metric system. The English system originated in England and also known as the U.S. customary system of measurement, while the metric system was developed in France and also known as the SI or International Standard. Under the English system, we have the yard, foot, and inch. And under the metric system, we have the meter, decimeter, centimeter, and millimeter. How to read inch or reading the inch. The inch is divided into segments called graduations. Each graduations represents a measurement in the form of a proper fraction. The inch can be divided into 16, 8, 4, and 2 in equal parts. Note that the illustration is not the actual length of an inch. Reading measurements. Reading the centimeter and millimeter. In every 10 millimeter, we have 1 centimeter. In every 20 millimeter, we have 2 centimeter. In every 30 millimeter, we have 3 centimeter. Always remember, when you start measuring, take note of the right scale. This one is a scale for centimeter and millimeter. The other one is in inches. Always start at a 0 or the first line when measuring, not at the edge of your ruler. Now let's proceed for the conversion. What is conversion? It is a change in the form of measurement. Different units without a change in the size or amount. Converting fraction to decimal. In converting fraction to decimals, simply divide the numerator by its denominator, whether it is a proper, improper, or mixed fraction. We have here a sample solution at the bottom. A for a proper fraction. 2 over 5 is a proper fraction. 2 divided by 5 cannot be. We have to borrow 0. Place a decimal point at the top and a 0. 0 times 5 is 0. 20 minus 0 is 20. 20 divided by 5 is 4. 4 times 5 is 20. 20 minus 20 is 0. The answer is 0.4 or 0.4. Next is the improper fraction. 11 over 3 is a improper fraction. 11 divided by 3 is 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 11 minus 9 is 2. 2 divided by 3 cannot be. You have to borrow 0. 20 divided by 3 is 6. 6 times 3 is 18. 20 minus 18 is 2. Bring down 0. 20 divided by 3 is 6. 6 times 3 is 18. 20 minus 18 is 2. This is called a repeating decimal. So the answer is 3.66. Next is the mixed fraction. 2 and 1/2 is a mixed fraction. Separate the whole number and divide the fraction. 1 divided by 2. This cannot be. We have to borrow 0. Place a decimal point at the top and a 0. Now, 10 divided by 2 is 5. 5 times 2 is 10. 10 minus 10 is 0. So, the answer is 2.5. Converting units of measure. We have here a guide table in unit conversion. First one is the English to English. 1 foot is equivalent to 12 inches. Second one is the metric to metric. 1 meter is equivalent to 10 decimeter. 1 decimeter is equivalent to 10 centimeters. English to metric. 1 inch is equivalent to 2.54 centimeter. 1 inch is equivalent to 25.4 millimeter. 1 foot is equivalent to 30.48 centimeter. Metric to English. 1 meter is equivalent to 3.28 feet. 1 meter is equivalent to 39.37 inches. We are using this guide table in unit conversion. Let's have a sample solution in conversion. By using the guide table, we have to convert 3 feet into inches. Simply multiply 3 by 12 inches. 3 times 12 is equal to 36 inches. Always remember that in 1 foot there are 12 inches. So we just simply multiply 3 feet by 12 inches. Next is inches to feet. 48 inches is how many in feet? The solution here is divide 48 in by 28 inches. 48 inches divided by 12 inches, the answer is 4 feet. Next is the centimeter to millimeter. 22 centimeter is how many millimeter? Solution here is simply multiply 22 centimeter by 10 millimeter. 22 centimeter multiplied by 10 millimeter, and the answer is 220 millimeters. Remember that in 1 centimeter there are 10 millimeter. So we just simply multiply 22 centimeters by 10 millimeters. The next one is inch to centimeter. 6 inches is how many centimeter? We have here the solution at the bottom. Multiply 6 inches by 2.54 centimeter. 6 inches times 2.54 centimeter. The answer is 15.24 centimeter. Always remember that in every 1 inch, there are 2.54 centimeter. So we just simply multiply 6 inches by 2.54 centimeter. Calculating board foot or board feet of a lumber. What is a board foot? It is a unit of measure for determining the volume of a lumber. A board foot is actually 1 square foot of a lumber of 1 inch thick. This illustration shows the length, thickness, and width of a lumber. It shows that 1 foot of an inch is the width, 1 foot of an inch is the length, and 1 inch is the thickness. Why do you have to learn to calculate the board foot of a lumber, the board feet of a lumber? To know the amount of lumber for a project. And the next one is to know the cost of a lumber needed for the project. The formula used in computing the board foot is board foot or BDFT is equivalent to thickness times width times length divided by 144, where T stands for thickness in inches, W width in inches, and L length in inches. Before you measure the board foot of a lumber, you have to identify first its length, width, and thickness. Width refers to the wideness of a lumber. Length is the longest part of the lumber, and the thickness is the distance between the opposite sides of a lumber. We have here the steps in calculating the board foot of a lumber. First thing we have to do is to measure the length, width, and thickness of a lumber using our measuring tools. Second step is to substitute the measurement to the formula in getting the board foot of a lumber. Here we get the thickness at 1.25 inches and the width is 4.5 inches. The length is in 26 inches. Board foot is thickness times width times length over 144. We have to substitute the measurements to the formula. We get 1.25 for the thickness, 4.5 inches for the width, and 26 for the length in inches, divided by 144. Multiply the length, width, and thickness and divide it to 12. Okay, thickness times width times length over 144. 1.25 inch times 4.5 inch times 26 inch. The answer is 146.25 inches. Take note that the 12 here is in terms of feet. So 12 times 12 is 144 inches. So we simply divide it by 144 inches. For the step number 4, we have to write the calculated board feet and write the unit of measurement. Again, the formula for the board foot is thickness times width times length over 144. 1.25 inch times 4.5 inch times 26 inch is 146.25 inches. Divided by 144 inches, the answer is 1.02 board feet. Here we have another example. The measurements obtained of a lumber is the thickness is in 2 inches, the width is in 6 inches, and the length is in 12 inches. Again, we have to write the formula. Board foot is equivalent to thickness times width times length divided by 144. Next, we have to substitute the formula of its measurements. The thickness is in 2 inches, the width is in 6 inches, and the length is in 12 inches divided by 144. Next, we have to multiply 2 inches, 6 inches, and 12 inches. The answer is 144 over 144. The last step is to simply divide the measurements. So we get the 1 board foot. So that's all for today, guys, and thank you for listening.